practicing a saber lesson, and with a saber it is a weapon where you cut as well as point. And you can see here that protecting the head, protecting the flank, and protecting the whole target is really quite an athletic process. The coach on the left in silver is putting young Ian, who's only been fencing for just over 4 months, through his paces, and you can already see now how the speed starts to come through, and the moves have to be particularly accurate.
Going underarm there. Second.
So now he's protecting the flank by going down and then wanting to come back up again. But this is by no means something that you can do automatically unless you practice it. So there's the attack coming in at the flank, and then there's the parry and riposte. Attack, parry, riposte. Attack, parry, riposte. And you do that when he's going back. And then in a moment we'll watch a number of attacks coming through. And this lesson here is to imprint clear movements which can then be taken into a competitive environment. There's an attack, cutting at the throat. Then the coach is saying, look, you cut at my chest, I'll carry you and come back to you and give you a second time, but you've got to narrow that and then come back a second time. So this is quite a complicated movement that's been watched. So there's the attack coming out there, good. And then the coach carried it, you remember, then it's backing up and then hits him on the head. So here's a double time. And for a fencer who's been fencing for 4 months, really nice to see this level of proficiency. Now he's going to cut at the flank. He's pretending to come at the head, up goes the coach's hand, he's to avoid it, and then he's cutting at the flank. Nice move. So you're deceiving the opponent by pretending you're going to come to the head. Then, when the opponent puts his hand up there, you change the line and cut open the flank. There was a beat attack. Now this is another type of attack where you're beating the blade slightly up the blade before coming forward. The coach is taking a step up by getting back up to the good one. Now he's got that beat on the blade, which deceives the coach, thinking, well, he's going to come on the inside, but then he changes the line and comes round on the outside. Now we have these lessons, they go on for about 20 minutes, and the whole purpose is to develop the movement, the skill, the ability to respond to a variety of threats and defensive movements. After that, competitive environment when they're up against somebody else on the piece. So they're not just working against the opponent, they're working against somebody else who has his own ideas about what to do. So fencing is both technique, what you have to learn, and then it's the creative and artistic element of it, and trying to beat your opponent who's also got creative and artistic ideas about how to do the game. And that's what makes it such a fascinating sport. Good fencer stop? Yeah, good fencer stop, yeah. And here we're fencing echo. And this weapon has a small button in the end of the tip. And when you hit your opponent, the button makes a contact and it's displayed on the indicator board, which is on the floor. We'll just watch one happening now, just to show you how it works. There we are, and there's a red hit for the fencer on the left. Now we have a president usually who adjudicates on the bout, and there's that gentleman there in this particular case, and again in the spirit who will make the decisions about the hits. But in épée, he's got to be really a watchful the point doesn't hit the floor and the person gets a wrong hit for that reason. So that's his main concern. Otherwise, the hits go with the light. The whole of the target, from the toe to the head, and this is very much the nearest you can get to human as was practiced in the old days. Another good hit here from Watkins. Now, Yvonne is a lady fencer. We've got ladies and gentlemen in the club. And yes, there was a floor hit. I think it is. You saw the blade just touch the floor to go back on that one. Now, here we're trying to get point onto the target. Keeping the point facing forward all the time is the key element of this weapon. The techniques are slightly different to say. Now this is what we call a warm-up bout. It's not an official competition, but this is how we train for competition. Bringing each other together. We of course all know each other fairly well in this club, so we can have a bit of a pre-sort of set idea about what might happen. But even so, we do use these fighting occasions to develop our technique and come up with something different. And in some ways it makes it more of a challenge, because you come up with something different to somebody that you fence regularly, makes it very interesting. Now, George, the one on this side here now, is just going off to university. He was our Master at Arms last year. Very competent fencer, and I think he'll go far. I think we can expect to see him coming up the national rankings within a few years. Just 17, been fencing since he was 10, and really doing well. There was a place. Taking the running line forward, object of the exercise was to get his point on first, but actually Yvonne, who was the other end, managed to do a stop it, and they both ended together, so they both get a point. This time she ran at George Watkins here on the left, but he managed to get his stop it out before she hit, and he got it. So it's a cat and mouse game. It is quite photogenic, but you can't actually see what people are thinking because you can't see their eyes. And there's been a lot of conversation about whether people should have masks which are clear. They've heard them, but they've had so much trouble with it that they've now come back to these mesh designs. So we've got one more hit, and there she was. It's not actually strength that wins this, it's the accuracy of the point. You want to look at some movements here? And he's got his épée, and you can see the inside of the épée here. He's got a plug where he will, a socket where he'll put his plug, which will enable the leads to work through. When this tip is activated, I don't know whether you can see the thing there, it goes in about 2 millimeters. When that tip is pressed, when he hits the target, it creates the circuit. That then goes through the wire that he's got through his arm. He's going to thread that through now onto the sword. It comes out from his jacket here. It's clipped onto another socket, which is linked to that spool. And then the spool has another lead, which goes up to the score in the middle. The opponent has got the same equipment, and so when you hit the target, the electric light goes on. Now you're just pressing the button, you could be pressing it against me, and just pressing the button, and it's as simple as that, and that's how hits are recorded in this way.
Go on then, push it on the floor.
Push it on the floor, and still that puts the light on, and this is what we have to be very conscious of. A proper international piece will have an insulated floor, and the light will not go on, but they're very expensive, and for general fencing it's cheaper and better just to watch that if and the fences are honest enough to know when it's hit the floor, and null the hit.